what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faye, and for today's video, I am bringing you guys a foundation review. At this point, I feel like when I show up on camera barefaced in this robe, y'all know. We just sat down, we're getting ready. I'm about to be showing you guys something new, and today is going to be another foundation review. So LYS recently launched their new, what is it called? Triple Fix Skin Tint Blurring Foundation Stick. So you all already know I was intrigued. So today I'm going to be reviewing that for you guys and doing a full day wear test. And then they also recently came out with some blush sticks and some highlighter sticks. So I'm going to try those out for you guys on camera today as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the intro. If you enjoyed this video or enjoy reviews, be sure to give this one a thumbs up so more people can see it and check it out. And let's go ahead and get into it. So if you're new here, I do have very oily skin. Just want to throw that out there so you kind of have an idea of what we're working with. First things first, I'm going in with primers. If you know, you know. I love to do a cute little primer concoction on this channel. So I'm gonna go in first with the Danessa Myricks Water Powder Serum. I have really been enjoying this. I love applying this as my first primer on the skin because it's kind of just going to prep the skin. It's not going to be like overly drying or overly mattifying, but it kind of is almost equivalent to, I don't know if you guys used to see when people, and some people still do it, applying a light layer of powder on your face to help control oil throughout the day. That's kind of what this is giving, but it's a serum texture, so it's not going to be like overly drying or overly mattifying, but it's still going to give you some, you know, oil protection, oil control throughout the day. And then on top of that, oh, I pulled out the wrong one. And then on top of that, I'm going in with another one of Danessa Myricks products. She has really had me in a chokehold, especially with the complexion. This is her Yummy Skin Blurring Balm, and today I'm using the shade Universal. So I basically take like this much on the back of my nail. You really don't need enough. What am I saying? You really don't need a lot, and then I just warm it up in between my fingers and press it into the skin. I like to start in the center of my face, in my T-zone area, because that's the area for me that gets the most oily, and then I kind of just blend it out, or, you know, press it into the skin and blend it out from there. All right, and then lastly for primers, I'm going in with this one from Smashbox. This is the OG Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. And I really only focus this primer on the areas where I have large pores. So I don't know if you guys can see, but kind of in this area, that's my dog back there. But on my cheek area, I do have large pores. So I like to go in and just smooth those out. And this may seem like a lot. It probably kind of is, but for me and my skin, this is what works. So of course you do what's best for you, but for me, it's gonna be a primer concoction every time. All right, so like I said in the intro, we're going in today with the new Triple Fix Skin Tint Blurring Foundation Stick. Shout out to LYS for sending these over for me to try. This video is not sponsored, but they did save me some coins, so shout out to them. They did send over this little card and pamphlet as well, so I'm just gonna read from here as far as the claims. So it's available in 22 shades. It's supposed to be creamy, blendable, lightweight, and provide a smooth, natural finish formula that also doubles as skincare and makeup. It's supposed to have buildable coverage, so it allows you to either do a medium to full coverage look, or you can sheer it out and do like a more natural look with it. And yeah, it basically gives you the flexibility to have your skin your way, is what it says on here, which I like. I think that's cute. So I actually ended up getting 2 different PR packages of this product. Each of them had 2 foundations in them, and they sent me a duplicate of TG7. So I actually have 2 of those. And then I also have TN6, which I think is a little bit too light for me. So these 2 I'm probably going to give away. If you didn't know, I did want to mention that I created a cute little girls group chat over on Instagram. So if you have an Instagram, I would definitely recommend following me on there and joining the group chat. Anybody can join. And it's just a place where I can talk to you guys real time. And I've also been doing like a couple little giveaways like I'll do with these. With you guys over there. So definitely be sure to check that out. I'll link it for you guys down below in my description box. But the 2 shades that I'm going to be trying out are TG7 and DN3. One thing I do really like about these is that the packaging of the actual stick matches the shade that's on the inside. So I thought that was a cute little touch. And today, unlike in my Too Faced review, I'm gonna actually swatch these on my face so that we can make sure that we're using the right shade. But I'm pretty sure both of these would work for me at some point throughout the year. So I am gonna hold on to both, even if one is a little bit dark. But first I'm gonna swatch TG7. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so that's TG7. I don't know, that actually looks really good as far as like a shade match, but that's the first one. And then this one is DN3, which is gonna be, oh, wait. Not both of these could work. Okay, so this one is a little bit golden. This one is a little bit more neutral, hence DN. The N is neutral, and then TG, the G is golden. But both of these kind of work. So I might mix them together because I feel like, what do y'all think? On camera, I feel like this one is leaning a lot more almost green looking, but in person, it looks pretty good. So I may actually mix both of these together because, do I want to do that or do I want to just show y'all one shade? Okay, so I closed my door behind me and also zoomed you guys in just a little bit more so that you could see the skin. I went and blended these out and also looked in like regular light in my bathroom. And I feel like this shade matches me a little bit more. So if you're somebody that can only get one and you're my shade twin, I would recommend DN3. This one, like I said, it leans a little bit more golden, but I do have like slight golden tones. But if I had to pick one, it would be DN3. So I'm gonna use this one for you guys just to show you one shade instead of mixing them together. But on a regular basis, I'll probably be mixing these. So let's go in with this one. Probably don't need to, oh, I guess I can show you guys how much product comes in here too. So you just twist this up. Let me make sure it doesn't fall out, because I did this with a product on camera one time and it fell out. But this is what it looks like as far as how much product you get in the whatever you call this, the container. But let's go ahead and apply it to the skin. And I love products like this too because they're just super convenient, especially if you're in a rush. Like, you don't have to worry about pumping something out and potentially making a mess. I'm gonna spray a little bit of this on. I always go in with a little bit of a setting spray. Okay, and then let's go ahead and blend it out. Okay, first impression, right off the bat, I wasn't sure what to expect with it being a serum skin tint, or no, a skin tint foundation stick. I wasn't sure, you know, what to expect as far as the coverage, but that compared to, well, I covered it already, but you guys saw the dark spots that I have. That actually looks really good. And that was just basically one layer. It did say on, or in the pamphlet as well, that if you want a more sheer coverage, you could blend this out with your fingers. I'm not really a fingers blending kind of girl. I'm a brush girl. So naturally with a brush, it is gonna give you a little bit more coverage. But if you wanted it to be a little bit more sheer, you could use your fingers or you could use a beauty blender. Okay, so that actually looks really good. This is just with one layer. You guys saw how much I applied. I think the coverage on this, like I said, it looks really good. It was super easy to blend out. This brush that I'm using is the Morphe E63. I know from time to time I get questions about this brush. So that is what I'm using to blend it out, but it actually looks really good. So this amount of coverage, I can still slightly see my dark spots peeking through. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but it did give me a good amount of coverage that honestly, if I was just like going to run errands or, you know, whatever the case may be, I would be fine with this and I would just keep it pushing. But for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna show you guys an additional layer just to see how it blends out. So I'm gonna add a little bit more on my cheek area. And I think I'm gonna do a little bit underneath my eye just to see how it covers my darkness under there and blend it out. One thing I really like about this is it applies to the skin, I don't know the right word, but like basically neatly. Like it's not messy. It blends out easily. It kind of stays where you put it, honestly. You guys can see it builds up like really nicely. And my skin looks hydrated, radiant. Like, it just looks skin-like, but obviously, like, I added a little bit of coverage, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is how we're looking after 2 layers. And I'm not gonna lie, for this to be a skin tint foundation stick, I'm impressed, especially with the coverage. I think this looks really good. I also think that this shade looks really good as well. All right, so let's keep moving. I think it did a pretty good job of adding some coverage underneath my eyes, but I am still gonna do a little bit of color correcting just so I can make sure that my concealer and everything looks good under there. So I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Poreless, what is this called? e.l.f. Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener. If you've been watching my videos, you guys know how much I've been loving this. I have mine in the shade Tan Deep. And I basically like to just go in with this little angled kabuki brush and just apply that right underneath my eye. And it's gonna color correct for me, and it's also going to slightly brighten. You can kind of see the difference, this eye versus this eye. They ate with this one. I know I've talked about it a couple of times, and I'm gonna keep talking about it because it's affordable and it works. All right, so now that that's done, I'm gonna go on with concealer. Today I'm gonna be using this one from LYS. This is their Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer, and I have mine in MG5. I tried to pull out, as I usually do when I do foundation reviews, as many like products from the brand that I own as I can, just so that I can, you know, try out everything. It gives me a chance to review a few more things for you guys. And usually brands will create products that all kind of work well together. So it gives me a chance to also see if other products that the brand has kind of work well with each other. And I'm actually gonna let that kind of sit on the skin a little bit so that I can get a little bit more coverage out of it. And while that's drying down, I'm gonna go in with the cream bronzer. This is also from LYS. I've shared this with you guys many times here on my channel. Absolutely love their cream bronzers. If you are new to cream bronzing, or if you've struggled finding a cream bronzer that matches your complexion, I highly recommend checking out their cream bronzers. I have mine in the shade Courage. I don't remember if I said that already, but this is their No Limits cream bronzer, and mine is in Courage. And then I like to use this brush also from Morphe. It's just kind of like a flat brush that allows me to get really precise when I'm applying my bronzer. So I actually, last time I did this, I was nervous to apply this straight to my face. And it's funny because the brand actually commented and was like, don't be scared, girl, just apply it straight to your face. So I'm gonna do that this time. So I'm gonna do a little bit here. This always makes me so nervous, but I've seen other people do it and I know it blends out nicely. So we're gonna do it today. I'm gonna do a little bit under here, not too much, okay? And then we're just gonna blend it out. Okay, so it's actually blending out nicely, applying it straight to the skin. Now I'm gonna do underneath here. Comment down below and let me know, first of all, are you somebody that uses cream bronzer, and do you normally apply it like to a brush and blend it out, or do you apply it straight to your face? I know I see people apply it straight to their face all the time, but I'm always too chicken to do it. So I wanted to try it today. And I mean, I'm not saying it'll work with every cream bronzer, but this one, it definitely blended out beautifully. Okay, so now that we have that blended out, my concealer has been sitting for a little bit. I'm gonna go in with my damp beauty sponge and go ahead and blend that out as well. Also, if you kind of let your concealer sit and you feel like it's difficult to blend out, you can just go in with a little bit more of a setting spray, and that should rehydrate it enough for you to blend it out. But as you can see, I am not having that issue at all with this one. Okay, now I will say this concealer is giving me a very skin-like kind of light coverage, which I'm not mad at. But for me, since I do have some darkness under my eyes, I want just a little bit more coverage. So I'm gonna go in with my Born This Way Sculpting Concealer in the shade Sand. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more underneath the eye for a little bit of extra coverage. Okay, so next up I'm gonna set my face. I did see that they recently came out with a new loose setting powder as well. I don't have that today. So I'm gonna be going in with my Huda Beauty setting powder. This one is in the shade Banana Bread. and I'm gonna use that to set underneath my eyes and everywhere that I applied the concealer. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit on the face for a little bit while it's baking and marinating. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my brows. I'm using these two. Let me turn this one around. There you go. Oh, wait. There you go. All right, so this is the Precisely My Brow and the Goof Proof Brow Pencil. These are my two go-to brow pencils. Absolutely love these. So I'm gonna fill in my brows real quick and then I'll be right back. Okay, brows are on. I also added a little bit of this product from Maybelline. This is their Build-A-Brow. It's basically a pen, kind of like an eyeliner pen, brow pen situation. And I just added a couple flicks of it into my brow just to make them look more like hair-like strokes in the areas where I don't have as much hair, to kind of fill in that. I actually really like this. I mentioned this to you guys in my last video, but if you missed it, I actually really like this from the drugstore. All right, so next I'm just gonna blend and buff out some of this extra powder on the face. There's not really a lot, but anything that's hanging out there, I'm just gonna buff out, bring a little bit underneath here. And then I don't know if you can tell, but I kind of left this space right here unset because I do want to try out the blushes. So these are the blushes from LYS. These are their Higher Standard Cream Glow Blush Sticks, which, side note, I love the names of all of their products. Like, these are the Higher Standard Blush Sticks. These are the Triple Fix. The contour is, or like the bronzer is called the No Limits bronzer, and then even the names of like each color, love. But yeah, I think today I want to use or do kind of like a fall-ish vibe. So I think I want to try maybe cinnamon pink or warm cinnamon pink and the peach, or maybe the orange. I don't know. So I'm gonna swatch these three. And I got two when I received these as well. I got two of the warm cinnamon pink, which is in the shade Focused. So I have an extra one here that I haven't opened. So I'm gonna sit that to the side as well to give away to you guys on my group chat. So definitely be sure that you join and stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and swatch these. Okay, so the first one is in the shade Curvy, and this one is described as Perfect Peach. Ooh, pretty. So that's what that one looks like. Just a beautiful peach tone shade, kind of shimmery. And then next we have Focus, which is the warm cinnamon pink. This is the one that I have the extra of. Ooh, okay, so that's that one. This one right here is Focused. And then lastly, I have Courageous, which is the poppy orange. I have a feeling I'm really gonna like this one as well. Yeah, so that is the orange down there. So now I'm even more confused about what shade I want to use. Maybe I'll do, actually, I think I want to do Focused because I kind of like how that looks. It's this one right here. So let's do that. Now for this, I'm not going to apply it straight to the face because I want to have a little bit more control over it. So I'm going to use this brush from Sephora. This is their number 47 brush. I'm probably going to get more of these because this would also be really good for applying my contour or bronzer as well. But let's see. Yeah, Focused. And I think I'm just going to maybe pick it up on the brush. I'm not going to lie, cream products always make me a little nervous. But I do really like cream products from this brand because I haven't ever had any issues blending them out. So I'm gonna do a little bit. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. Okay, actually, I think I can just use everything I put on the brush on this side. So we're just gonna blend it out. And it's blending nicely into the powder as well because I did set underneath my eyes already, which you guys saw. And it's blending nicely into that. I probably should have done this before I apply powder, but listen, one thing about me, I'm gonna forget to do this every single time, and I think it's just because like cream products are a new step in my routine. Like I haven't always used cream products, so more times than not, I'm gonna forget to apply it before I set my concealer. So for me, having a product that can blend on top of powder is definitely necessary so that I can still use it even if I forget to apply it before I set my concealer. Okay, that's cute. I like it. I like it. It's just giving like just enough, very skin-like, very much everyday. Looks good on my complexion. And again, like I said, this one is in the shade Focused. And then I'm also going to use their cream highlighter as well. I have three, I believe there are 3 shades, and I have all 3 of them: Fearless, Genuine, and Brave. So I'll swatch these for you guys as well. This one got a little bit melted, but it still works. So first we have Fearless, which is like a beautiful bronze tone shade. That would look beautiful on like deeper complexions, or if you wanted to apply it as like a base for an eyeshadow on your eyelid, that would be beautiful. And then Genuine, which I think is the one that I'm gonna use because I love like a kind of pinky toned, rosy toned highlighter. Yeah, that is beautiful. So that one is in Genuine. Like I said, it kind of gives like a pinky rose toned like undertone to it. And then lastly is Brave, and this one is more of like a champagne shade, and these are so creamy. That's pretty too. Okay, so that last one, look at that, is Champagne. So these are all 3 next to each other: a bronzy, a pinky, and a champagne shade. Gorgeous. But like I said, I'm going in with the more champagne color, and I'm gonna use my highlighter brush. This is the Anastasia. I don't even know what number this is because I've had this for so long that the numbers are rubbed off. But this is her highlighter brush, and I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of this on the brush. Actually, for these, I think I'm just gonna put them straight on my face and blend it out with this, with my beauty blender. And I'm gonna use like the edge right here. That's kind of the nice thing about these being triangular shaped. I'm gonna apply it on the edge, like so, over here as well. And then I'm just gonna, actually, I could probably use this same brush I used for the blush. Yeah, that is pretty. Let me do the other side before it sets. Okay, I'm gonna use a brush, but instead of that highlighter brush, I'm gonna use the same one that I used for the blush. There we go. Ooh, gorgeous. That's the highlight and the blush together. Beautiful. And then I'm gonna take a little bit on my finger and do a little on the nose and a little down the bridge of the nose as well. Okay, actually I would not recommend that because it's lifting, because I did set my nose. So yeah, I would not recommend doing that. If you want to apply this on your nose, do it before so that you don't lift up the product. But on my face, it applied nicely. Or like on my cheeks, I mean. All right, so let's go ahead and set the face. I feel like I'm getting chatty, as I tend to do. I'm gonna use my Fenty powder foundation. I'm not sure if LYS has powder foundations. If they do, I don't have one. So in the meantime, I'm gonna use my tried and true, and that's gonna set down the blush, the highlight, and really just any creams that I have on the face. And then of course, I'm gonna go over my bronzer and blush with a powder version of that as well. But this is kind of just the first layer. Okay, so for blush today, I'm gonna go in with one from my MAC palette. I'm gonna use this one right here, which is in the shade Peach Twist. So we're kind of keeping with the same vibes, a nice shimmery, peachy kind of tone blush. And we're just gonna pop that right on top to set that blush down and keep it in place. Okay, I also realized I forgot to do powder bronzer. We're a little bit all over the place today, but it's okay. So I'm gonna go in now with powder bronzer. I do have a powder bronzer from LYS. It's the same shade as my cream contour, which is in the shade Courage. So it looks like this. And we're gonna use that to go over the contour areas and set that down as well, okay? And then I'm also gonna add a little bit of this on my eyelid as well, just to tie everything together. Okay, so last but not least is powder highlighter. Same shade as the cream one. This one is in the shade Genuine. And I am gonna use my brush for this and just lightly dust it on top just to lock in that cream. All right, and then last but not least for the face, just because I feel like I am giving very much shiny, a little bit more than I typically would, I'm gonna just go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter powder. This one is in the shade number 3. This is a step that I have actually started doing lately, and I can't remember who I saw doing it, but it basically just gives your skin like this flawless filter as like the finishing touch. So I just pick up a little bit on my powder brush and just lightly go over everything. It's also gonna help kind of blend and blur everything together. So if you feel like things are looking a little, like you can even see how everything just looks more melted and blended together. So if you feel like after you've done your makeup, it just needs something, I would definitely recommend picking up one of these and using it as the last step. And they do have these in like smaller travel size versions as well, which I'm sure will last you forever because I've had this one forever and I'm not even close to hitting pan on it. All right, so I think I'm gonna skip the lashes for today and just go in with mascara. This is the LYS Lash Confidence Mascara. And I'm not sure if they have multiple shades of this, but this one is in the shade Black. And it doesn't even have a shade on the bottom, it just says Lash Confidence. So my guess is that there is only one shade. So the first thing I'm gonna do is comb out my lashes with this little lash comb that I got from e.l.f. from Target, but from e.l.f. Okay, and then I'm gonna curl my lashes. I'm gonna use this lash curler. This is from Shiseido. Really good lash curler. It's expensive, I'm not even gonna lie. But if you're looking for a really good lash curler, I would definitely recommend this one. And I like to lift up my eyelid because I have hooded lids and I feel like if I don't lift my eyelid up, first of all, it's not gonna allow me, sorry if y'all can hear the noise, the buses are coming and dropping the kids off. But I feel like if I don't lift up my eyelid, first of all, it's not gonna allow me to get to the root of my lash. And then secondly, I'm gonna end up pinching like the skin of my eyelid. So that's how I do it, girl. And then we're gonna go in with the mascara. This is what the brush looks like. It's giving like voluminous curl type brush. So we'll see how it works. I think this is my first time using this. So let's see. Try to get as close to the base of the lash as possible. And just kind of wiggle it up so that the whole lash gets coated. Okay, so these are the lashes. Don't mind the mess on my eyelid. I'm gonna clean it up. But I actually really like this mascara. You can really see over here. It was a little bit of a learning curve for a second there because I've never used a mascara that has a like curved brush. And I originally was trying to use it this way, but you're actually supposed to use it this way, like the shape of your eyelid. Duh, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. So yeah, I actually really like this. I feel like it gave my lashes volume, it separated them well, and they look good. Okay, so last but not least is the lip, and for that I'm just gonna go in with my lip liners from Fenty Beauty. Then I'm gonna go on top of that with the Gloss Bomb Stick, and this one is in the shade Tulip Kiss. Okay, so this is the finished face. I'm gonna go ahead and lock everything in with my One Size mattifying setting spray. All right, so this is how we're looking up close and personal. The skin actually looks really good. Even with these cream products make me nervous because I'm an oily girl, but the skin is looking radiant. It's looking healthy, honestly. Like, it just looks, obviously like I have makeup on, but it doesn't look overdone in my opinion. For me, I would consider this natural. And yeah, I mean, I think it looks smooth, it looks flawless. Overall, it's looking very good. First impression, 10 out of 10. But we're gonna see how she wears throughout the day. So it is currently 4 o'clock, as you can see. There we go, time check, 4 o'clock. So we're gonna wear this throughout the day. You guys already know the drill, or if you're new here, I'm gonna try to wear this on my face as long as I can and give you guys, you know, a full wear test of at least, you know, 6 to 8-ish hours. If I can do more, I definitely will. And I'll come back later on tonight to check in to show you how it's holding up. All right, y'all, so I am back. It is currently 10:54, so basically 11 o'clock. There we go. You guys can see, time check. So basically 11 o'clock. So I have had this on my face now for about 7 hours. I was in the house mostly, but then I did go out and get some dinner. If you're in the group chat, you guys saw my big back dinner of oxtails and mac and cheese from Chick-fil-A. But yeah, it was very much hot outside. I think the high today was 95 degrees. I wasn't sure exactly how hot it was today, but I knew I was very much sweating when we went out today. So this face has been, you know, a little bit in the house, a little bit in the elements, a little bit of sweating happening, and this is what we're looking like. Also, if you're curious, on my lips, I have on the lip oil from Gizu. This one is the mango one. Does it say it on here, the color? The Mango Passion Punch color. I had to put something on my lips because after eating, they were giving very much crusty. But yeah, this is how the face is looking. We are looking shiny, very much shiny, but it's giving radiance. It's giving hydration. I think some of the shine, well, we have our shine on the forehead as well, but I think on the cheek area, some of that is the result of the blush and the highlight, because we already were looking kind of shimmery and shiny before we even got started. But the actual skin looks good. It hasn't broken up, it hasn't settled, but we're definitely giving shine, radiance, oily, you know, however, you know, whatever you want to say, that is what it's giving on the face right now. So if you're not new here, you guys already know what's next. If you are new here, I'm going to blot my face and set as if I am out and about, I'm at work, or whatever the case may be, somewhere where I need my face to potentially last a little bit longer, and maybe I went to the bathroom or I checked the mirror, I saw I'm getting a little bit oily, and so I'm gonna blot and see if I can bring this face to life. So this is just a regular, you know, Kleenex tissue, and I'm just gonna go in and blot one side of my face so we can see what it's giving just from blotting the skin. Okay, so here's our tissue. Got a little bit of my brow on there, a little bit of everything on there. But this is the blotted side from just blotting with the tissue. This is the unblotted side, so you kind of have a comparison of what we were looking like before we blotted and what we're looking like afterwards. So I'm gonna go in and do the other side. Okay, so this is how we're looking after blotting both sides. I feel like the skin is giving very much skin. It's still giving radiance. You can still kind of see my natural oils coming through on the face. And if I were to continue like this, like if I were actually out and about and I had forgotten my setting powder, I would probably feel like I needed to check my face every 1 to 2 hours, because more than likely I'm going to naturally just continue to get more oily if I don't reset my face. But I can appreciate that even after what came off on the tissue from blotting both sides, my skin still looks pretty much intact. It didn't like move it around too much. It's not settling really too much. There's a little bit of lift that happened on the side of my nose, but that is more so because I had on sunglasses when I went out earlier. So that's pretty much right in the spot where my sunglasses were sitting on my nose. But besides that, I feel like the face looks pretty good. The mascara held up. It's not coming down underneath my lashes or bleeding or anything on the face. So overall, it looks good. So now let's go in and set the face and just see, you know, what that's gonna look like. I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay All Nighter setting powder. If you don't have this setting powder, I highly recommend. If you're not new to this channel, you guys already know how much I go hard for this powder. I have so many of these. I keep them on deck because they're just so good, and you guys will be able to see. Like, this is my go-to powder for when I'm out and about, for touching up the face, resetting, bringing it back to life, you know, remattifying. It doesn't add, you know, any color to the face really, and it just does a great job of setting everything back in place and prolonging the wear of my makeup. So As you can see, this is after the powder, and in my opinion, this looks pretty good. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. Let's see how close we can get. Ooh, up close and personal. Okay, so this is the face, super up close. Y'all are all up in my grill, but you can see the skin. Get into it, get into it. The highlight though, I really, really love how that looks and how it held up. And being able to get this close, you guys can see how like my natural skin is still kind of peeking through, but it's still giving coverage. It's still giving like put together. It still looks good, but you can still see my natural skin at the same time, if that makes sense. Okay, let me zoom y'all out. Okay, so final thoughts. I am pleasantly surprised by this foundation. If you are somebody that is looking for something that is gonna feel super lightweight on the skin, that's gonna wear very skin-like, that's gonna give you buildable coverage or also allow you to kind of sheer it out, but it's gonna give you that skin-like finish, this is the perfect foundation for you. If you have very oily skin, I would highly recommend that you prep your skin with oil controlling primers. The primers that I used did pretty good with this foundation, but honestly, I recently picked up the One Size Oil Sucker. Baby, this? Oh, they did their big one with this one. This might potentially... Oh, I don't know. I don't necessarily want to compare it to Danessa Meyer's because it is a little bit different, but this is super, super mattifying. So like if I were to try this again, or I mean, when I wear it, I'm going to keep the foundations. Obviously I enjoyed wearing them, but the next time that I wear them, especially if I was going to go in with these like creamy, shimmery blushes and just things that over time naturally on their own are going to give radiance on top of my skin being oily, I would go in with a primer like this on like my cheek area, on my forehead area, like just on those areas to keep them extra, like keep my skin more mattified, because I do feel like these products are naturally, they're kind of made for to help your skin look healthy, radiant, skin-like, and basically for your skin to be able to shine through and have that natural finish. I don't think that there really are any claims of this being something that is oil controlling, so I don't fault the product for that, but I do still really like how the product looks on the face. So for those days when I do want something a little bit lighter, I do want something a little bit more skin-like, I would for sure reach for this foundation. Now, if I'm gonna be out in the sun, if I'm gonna be going on a walk, or I'm gonna be sweating, or if I'm gonna be like in more intense conditions where I also need my foundation to last several hours, I may not reach for this one simply because I have other foundations that are more oil controlling and do have ingredients that also help to control oil. But if I'm having a day like today where I'm gonna be mostly indoors and I may go outside a little bit here and there, and I'm really only gonna need this to be on my face for like 6 or 7 hours, and I want something that looks fresh, like this is giving clean girl, fresh, hydrated, skin-like, I would for sure reach for this foundation. So I'm excited to have something like this in my collection because, again, being an oily skin girl, most of my foundations are that matte or like soft matte oil controlling type product. But I feel like I can still get that same look if I use the right primers with this one and still be able to have skin that looks like this, because you can't deny my skin is eating right now. So that is going to bring us to the end of this video. Definitely comment down below and let me know what you guys thought of this review. Have you tried this foundation? What do you think? Or are you planning on picking it up after watching this review? I'm always interested to know what you guys think. And also let me know what you guys thought about the other products from LYS that I've tried, or if you guys have any favorites from the brand. You guys know how much I love chit-chatting with you guys down below in the comments. So even if you just say, hey girl, hey, just drop a little comment down below. All of the products that I talked about in today's video, I will have linked for you guys down below. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in anything that I shared. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. Don't forget to join my group chat if you're interested in just, you know, chit-chatting on a day-to-day basis. And of course, having access to those random giveaways that I'm going to be doing in that chat. I'll have the link for you down below in the description as well. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye.